Catch up on all the live shows right here on africatechradio.com.
Welcome, guys. Welcome. It's a brand new month, and of course, I'm super excited to be here today. It's great to be back, and of course, just going around the block and seeing what's really happening. Guys, nobody has been giving me updates. I stepped in that my colleague was telling me about our elder brother, senior man Elon Musk, trying to make changes to Twitter, trying to see if he can make coins. It's all about the money. And speaking of coins, some people are raving about Coin Master. It's a game and it's getting real, guys. People are taking it personal. I'll talk about that one in a few minutes. Meanwhile, I'm still going to be talking on the story of AI. I cannot do without talking about it. We're going to be looking at it from the angle of online fraud. I'm going to be taking a story which I came across and how people are skeptical about the AI ethics, and of course trying to be smart, because AI is moving really smart right now. So you have to be smarter, you have to be on alert, and all of those incredible stuff. Just want to welcome you guys to Africa Tech Radio. We are your number one Africa technology radio. We're broadcasting technological advancements one content at a time, right? One show at a time. So a big welcome to you guys. Let's get the information on Africa Tech Radio. Stick around with me. If you're following me back to back on this show, you would know I always mention something about AI. Whatever is going on that is making humans to be on the edge in regards to artificial intelligence. I'm always checking the news to let you guys know, because I know some of your fears. It's obvious on your face. You can't hide it. But there's been a lot of manipulation with using artificial intelligence, and people are trying to see to what extent can this go. In medicine, they're trying to use it to figure out cures for sicknesses, diseases, cancer. They're also trying to see how they can use it to promote a good, healthy lifestyle for patients. And also, we have people who are now using this to build artificial girlfriend, artificial boyfriend. People are also bringing back the voice of the dead. It's crazy things that people have been doing. Now people are using artificial intelligence to even perform on a stage. I remember the release of song by Drake, and he wasn't really happy about that. It was an imitation of Rihanna's song or something like that. And right now, this is another level entirely. So a father got a call from a foreign number saying that he's the son of the man and he's been involved in an accident, trying to engage the man in a conversation. And the man said Eddie is the guy, the name of the child, who called his father. So Eddie was sitting in his Chicago apartment in April when he received a frantic call from his father, asking if he was okay and if he was involved in an accident. He was surprised because he hasn't driven in a really long time, and he hasn't been involved in an accident he hasn't driven in the last 6 months and hasn't been involved in any car accident. So the father was relieved, but Eddie was left confused, like, what's really going on? So the father was explaining that he got a phone call from a foreign number, and when he picked up, it sounded very much like his son, Eddie, on the phone. So Eddie said, that's the artificial intelligence. Eddie said he's been in a car accident and needed money immediately. So they wanted to finesse my guy. They wanted to finesse him with the voice of his son. And you know how once people get this kind of phone call, they'll go into panic mode. That's how they actually scam people, or it's another way, not the only way. Scam comes in different shapes, form, and varieties. So this is one way where people just use distress call to scam people. So the father said, okay, but something about this phone call wasn't really sitting well with him. So Eddie found Eddie's grandfather's phone and saw the same incident about this getting involved in an accident, and he called Eddie to verify the story. So he knew it was out of character for Eddie to even ask for money, because in Peking, the father knows his son basically, and since Eddie confirmed it wasn't the one involved. They started researching, find out what's this new scary scam. What's it about? Fraudsters now using artificial intelligence to render Eddie's voice to try and just suck some money out of this man's pocket. They're trying to finesse him. So now people are saying there's impersonation on the rise. I remember back then, technology keeps changing things. So remember how back then people would carry portfolio, walking up and down, looking for who to scam. Then they moved down to building offices. They're inviting people to come and invest, to come and apply for jobs and the likes of it. Then now they move into the digital age. They started going into people's comment section and begging for money. Stylish way of asking for money or looking for a mugu. They used to someone who is very gullible that they can sell a very touching story to. I mean, technology has actually given way for imposter scam from way back. People are selling. There was a news around there was this very big tech lady. She was finessed, I think close to $2 million trying to buy digital assets, and everyone was like, no, not you can't meet someone. She said she met the person on dating app, and the person was involved with cryptocurrency exchange and everything, and she tried to put in some money. Everybody's trying to make extra coin, you get it. So she put in the money, and the money never came back. So there've always been imposters online, scammers, fraudsters, and the likes of it. AI now is taking it another notch. So tricksters are beginning to use artificial intelligence to supercharge scheme and convince people that their family member is in distress. I feel like this particular scheme has been used in Nigeria before. Growing up, people will just randomly call. Once they get hang of your number, they will randomly call and put you in panic mode about something related to your relation. Because back then, there was no so much phone line now. Before you can get across to your family member, it's going to take a couple of hours or days. So people would put forward this call and get people's money. It's just crazy. It's crazy. But right now, you need to just be aware of this, that AI is something that people are now using they're using chatbot system also. So everything now is not, you have to verify that you are in contact. I almost got duped because it was even a bank chatbot I thought I was chatting with, not knowing that it's my fellow Nigerian man that was trying to just, scam is bad though. If it happens to you, that's when you know the gravity of this. So please guys, be on the lookout for all these voices that are not real. In case you're hearing me, that I'm asking you for money on this call, it's not me, it's artificial intelligence, because Bookii would never do that. Okay? Or you hear that, come and invest something. Except you hear me give you backstories, and of course you should know when I'm the one talking. Because we're close body, right? Absolutely. So another interesting conversation that I came across today was a fellow man. What's his name? He's a brother, elder brother in tech, Elon Musk, making decisions daily, trying to monetize the social media platform Twitter. He recently gave some instructions around people, how many number of views you can participate in. Like, no, on Twitter you just go and you start checking for everything, but right now you can't. The number of pages you can actually see daily, or I have access to daily. And aside that one, some people are not allowed to read so vast except you pay money. If you don't pay money, you don't get it. I don't know. When my colleague was discussing this with me, I kind of felt like this man is just out for business without really checking the people who visit this particular API, why they visit it, and what has kept Twitter in business, that they haven't run down in. I've never had Twitter had problems where they are down, their system is down, operation is down. They really just know how they run things smoothly, and people find communities, people find like minds, people find it easier to communicate and interact with one another on Twitter. So I don't know, I think that's all the enticing part of it, but keeping people engaging with the platform was on another level. So trying to monetize it, do you think people would really want to leverage on all of these advantages you seem to be offering? Advantages that were kind of free in the past. I understand if you take away some of the things that we do enjoy for free, but not everything. Like, it's becoming suffocating just even being on Twitter. Thinking of it alone is kind of blowing my mind, because I really don't know where this guy is going with all of this. There should be like, okay, if we start paying for Instagram posts, how many people would want to go post on IG? Do you get my drift? Please, there's just something about freedom. When you start stifling it, people want to run away. Also, last week, I'm bringing this as a fashion story because this came out really late last week, so I couldn't have it on Friday. This is about a popular clothes manufacturing company. They cater for some of your hot babes. Tech 6 usually buy their products. I would not lie, I have a couple of their products in my wardrobe. Yeah, because they make really fashionable pieces and very affordable, and you're not looking to keep up with the trend and tear your pocket or break your account. Just these manufacturers have been very, very helpful. But recently, they sent an influencer. So the company is Shein. People call it Shein. People call it Shein. So it's spelled as SHEIN. And people have been lambasting them for the factory production of their materials. And this happened because Shein sent a representative, an influencer, an ambassador, doing the normal TikTok, Instagram takeover, and she revealed the state of the manufacturing company, and people started raising eyebrows, saying that Shein is not only stealing designers' work, but also violating local labor laws. This has been a controversial conversation in the past, like 2 years ago when they nearly came out. People were really talking about them. I think at some point, because people were raising eyebrow that they are using local labor, they are breaking so many laws, and the state of work is not really good enough for the production that they are having. So Vogue stopped working with them on social media, and also they were trying to remedy all of this by sending the influencer no social media takeover and the likes of it, and this one went to go and expose them. So it's been crazy. A lot of people having comments that are not really good. They're just tired of Shein breaking the law. But I feel like, wow, people would go to where labor is cheaper, but I feel there's still law and human rights that should be put in place. So if there's violation of that, I'm not in support of it. But then I'm just thinking of the PR. What can we do to remedy situation like this? Because I'm thinking of companies that would lose so much integrity, customer base, and everything based on breaking all of these laws. I wish they can get it together, because I would not lie, I've benefited from these manufacturers. You order clothes, it comes really fast, and the quality is like, you don't have so much high expectation, and you don't have so much low expectation. So there's really low probability of disappointment. But a lot of people are totally disappointed with the situation of the work factory, and most people also don't like their clothes. So my enthusiasm is not someone's enthusiasm. they're not particularly happy about the production and what the quality of what they're getting. So they're demanding for more. Kenya is just a country I really like. After Nigeria, next African country I love, Kenya. I don't know, I feel so close to it. I'm supposed to be close to Chale, Avi, but I'm not really close to them like that. I see Kenyans are like, I feel like I've known them from live before. So recently, what's the news? Kenya is also on this very fast-paced technological advancement thing, and right now a lot is going on, and I feel for me this is really good news, guys. This is good news. Maybe a bit of bad news, but mostly good news. So the Kenya Judiciary Council has given permission for digital sex offenders registry. This is the first time such registry has been implemented in the country, meaning that they now have an electronic register that has comprehensive database containing crucial information on all convicted sex offenders. So the implementation of the automated register is like a critical tool in protecting the public against sex offenders by providing accessible information and letting individuals have access to means of taking necessary precaution and create an environment that encourages such offenses. So they are putting them out there in the world. You can check for people's name. I know if you're doing application for certain things that involve working with other people, maybe remotely from another country, not in Africa, maybe US, Canada, Netherlands, just bringing all these places out. So you'd have to check for your criminal database. And I like the fact that they are putting this out there, because a lot of people they usually sweep these sex offenders case to the back and make it look like it's not serious. It's really serious. I like the fact that on request, Kenyans will be able to query the database and also get information on sexual offenders. The judicial system has free access to this online registry, and of course they've given permission to people who like to query the database. Also, there are steps in response to the reality that one of the key challenges in addressing sexual gender-based violence and child abuse is the lack of reliable and accessible data on the prevalence. So this is the reason why they decided to create this digital sex offender registry and made it available online. And this was established under the Sexual Offences Act. So this database is going to hold the records of all convicted offenders, and automating this registry, they will be putting in the names, pictures, and the likes of it. So it will be easy for anybody to have access to information on offenders. I really like this. At least it will kind of hold the community and let people sane. Don't behave, because beyond you just serving terms, your information will be all out there in the world. Yes, and you can't behave anyhow. Another interesting thing happening in Kenya is now you can pay for some goods using your data charges. So if you have excess of data and you are in a tight corner that you needed to pay for real quick and get out of there, and you just don't have access to the money to pay, maybe you forgot your wallet somewhere, you probably didn't come out with your card, other things, don't worry, you can pay through your data charges. This is pretty interesting when I saw this, because I would just be paying, but sometimes you know how this our network they behave now. So this particular service is called Lipa na Data. So I know we call our internet service data. I'm trying to get data or internet for my phone. I think Ghanaians, they call theirs bandwidth. So this one now they're saying is solution they are bringing is called Lipa na Data. So you can use Safaricom data to pay for goods and services. East African people are not playing with this technology thing. Rwanda right now, a lot is happening. They're trying to adapt so many technological solutions into the system. So a lot is really going on right now in Rwanda. And Kenya has just been at the forefront too. I know they're one of those big players, tech front, when it comes to the African continent. Kenya is doing really good. They have a lot of stuff working for them. talk about South Africa, Nigeria also. With Lipa na data. Lipa na data. Use and pay for goods and services. And you have a code you're going to dial, then you can now share this service with whoever you're transacting with. And you have a minimum of 5 gig mobile data on the Safaricom line to do this. So this service is accessible to Safaricom postpaid customers with a data balance of 5 gig and above. So that's what they're allowing people to do. So for those of people who they know that their bundle calculator will give them bills in Kenya shilling in its data bundle equivalent. For example, if you buy like 500 Kenya shilling, it's equivalent to 7 gig. So you can use that to pay for things. You can use it for alternative bills, sort your maybe light bills, water bills. You get this is really cool. There's also method for payment. There are prompts that you need to follow if you're in Kenya. So I'm just letting you know, when you take that travel tour, if you have maybe Safaricom network, you can just pay. Because I know when you cross border, it's hard paying for things and trying to, especially when you run out of the country's money, you have to. So right now, this is an opportunity where you can pay. I'm just putting it out there. Of course, while we're trying to wrap up the story for today, I know one prevalent conversation that is head tech space: investment, buying stock. The big guys, Elon Musk, Jobs, Warren Buffett, Mark Zuckerberg, they all have people buying stock and shares. They also buy stocks and trade. And I'm just wondering why Jack, Johnny, and Bookii cannot participate in buying stock, and noticing how this technology is changing so many things and creating opportunity where you don't need to start a company. You can be part of a company by buying their active stock and be a shareholder with the company. Ask for equity. You know you can deliver some duties, roles, rather than taking full-on salary. Why are we not thinking about that? I'm just all in my head right now because I've been reading some articles lately about investment. Guys, you cannot be sleeping. You have to look for ways you can multiply this money, and you need to know some portfolios also that are worthy of investment. Know if they are short terms, if they are long terms, and the quality over the next decade, what's going to be like. But today I'm not going to be giving you all of those expo. I'm just talking about things I've been checking on because my finance got to, come from different angles, guys. So in 2018, MTN Ghana raised over 235 million through initial public offering of their IPO to Ghana Stock Exchange. So the only problem was they had an estimated figure of making over 3 times that amount, like $750 million was their expectation, but they didn't meet that. This was because people outside Ghana could not buy stock. You know how we used to tell you guys that you're pressing phone, you can invest in the stock of the brand of phone. So many people are using iPhones, but they don't have shares with iPhone. There was this YouTube video. I'm always online, guys. I'm always online. So the lady was just like coming out of the store, and they're like, "Oh, did you get something? What did you get?" She mentioned, and they said, "What does she do for a living?" And she probably just said she owned this store. She's not the owner because the name is a big family name, it's a designer name. But then she owned a very good percentage of that company, of that brand, and she just walks in to buy it. She's not just coming in to buy, she's also looking at how the business is running, keeping a tab on her money, because she's now part of the business owner of that particular brand. So some of you are rushing to buy designer. Yet you cannot say 3 years down the line you're going to be getting back all of your money that you're putting into this particular company. Let's start looking at that. Also, there's a reading I've been doing on why we need to start buying small businesses. I know these are conversations that you usually catch me talk about with friends. I think I'll start making it possible for us to talk about things like this because the tech space is changing the dynamism of things. So unlike in the past where people want to own a company till it crashes, right now there are opportunities for you to buy the business and rescale it. All of that thing I'll be discussing with an expert really soon. Let's go back to the news updates on this Ghana stock with MTN. So somewhere, somehow, some guys thought about this problem, like how Ghanaians could not buy, or people outside Ghana could not buy stock from these particular providers, MTN. They decided to create opportunity for Africans to be a stockbrokers with this company. So Eugene and Latte, they came together and actually started working to find solution. So they spent about a decade with Goldman Sachs, where they work on North America, India, Asia, and they've had like a lot of experiences. So they put their head together, and after that, they thought about how could they apply their knowledge and experience to provide solution to connect Africa's capital market. Then they came out with second tax. They've been able to raise some seed funds, but they are making this a very good opportunity where people can actually invest, buy stock. Basically need to start looking for what direction to put our money. Can't just be making money and not having future plans for your money. And looking at how work is being replaced and changes are happening, you might want to put your money where you know the return in few years' time generating you something really, really good. So on that note, I'll be ending the conversation today. Thank you for sharing your time with me on the show. My name is Bookii, and this is Cruise Control. We do this every Monday to Friday, 12 p.m. all the way till 3 p.m. So keep it the date with me, guys. See you guys. Catch ya later.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to catch up on all the live shows right here on africatechradio.com.